Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 28 of 10HrHour. This week we played Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, a Gearbox software game published by 2K, released March 24th, 2022 on Epic and consoles. And it was a 3 months exclusive, June 23rd, 2022 for Steam. I am here with Squid
Hi.
and Chaser.
Hello.
Hello.
You didn't pronounce Gearbox right.
Yeah, she is right. You gotta do it.
You're
You gotta
right.
do
You're right. Okay. Hello, and
it right. That's not what we were saying.
so when you open the game, it goes Gearbox. And when you buy this game, the first like 3 months you play it, you're gonna know all your friends are playing it because everybody's just gonna be in chat randomly going Gearbox.
You didn't do it. You still didn't do it right. It's like Gearbox. It's literally a child's voice, and it's great.
It's
And
fantastic.
the first like 4 or 5 times, I innately just said Gearbox, and they were like, ah, yes, that.
Yep.
It's so good.
No, I'm looking at my notes and realized I missed a class, so we'll wing it when we get there.
Oh no.
So this game is a continuation slash full version of the Borderlands 2 DLC. That was called. I should have looked this up because it is a fantastic name. The Power of Editing.
It's assault on something keep.
Borderlands 2 DLC. Tiny Tina's Assault on a Dragon Keep, a Wonderlands one-shot adventure. So they shortened it to Tiny Tina's Wonderlands for this one. That was a one-shot. This is a full campaign, which I think is a really cool reference. Obviously, um, to D&D. This doesn't have any grenades in this game. It has spells. That's the big difference between this and Borderlands. Um, I know Squid and I played at launch, and Chase, you just picked it up a few weeks ago, right?
Yep.
Cool.
But I had not touched
Um,
the game before we started playing, so
yeah, including Borderlands. This is your first Gearbox, right?
I played Borderlands 2, but
Oh,
we
okay.
we had we had talked about that off camera. Um,
Yeah.
uh,
Everybody's first experience with these games is you play with friends because you're interested, and they run ahead because they've been playing it, and that's what you do with these type of games. You rush ahead, get the loot, and get out. But it ruins the first time player experience, and I feel like everybody has that issue with these games. You have to find a group that's willing to go slow and let you lead. Because I know Squid and I had the same problem with two, uh, pre-sequel, one, all of that. So, initial thoughts when we played Squid.
I'm trying to remember timeline here because we picked up Borderlands 3 at launch and played and didn't make it through it. But then Tiny Tina's was coming out. I think this was one of the first Borderland games we actually played Gearbox games that we played like all the way through together, right?
Yes, yes, it is.
Um, I really enjoyed it. And then I remember us going back and being like, okay, well, let's play 3 then, and getting all the way through 3 to the point where we have almost all of the DLC done. So, although I had played their games before, this is the one that really got me like into it. And I think the setting and just all of the in jokes is really what kept me.
Chase.
well, coming from not really playing too much Borderlands, or any Gearbox games, that's gonna be a running gag through the entire episode. I feel like. Anyway,
Put a gearbox counter on top of the screen, Squid.
yeah, you probably should.
I
Anyway,
just
go
I
ahead,
just want
Squid.
to
Say what you.
tag Gearbox and just be like, "Yo, so who's the actual voice actor and who did it best?"
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious. Anyway, but anyway, having not played too many Borderlands games, coming into this, I wasn't sure what to expect. I've been really into Baldur's Gate, as you two both know, and pretty much anybody who knows me IRL. So I've been really trying to get into D&D as well, getting into a tabletop campaign. So I was curious how much D&D it was going to be, and I was surprised. There was a lot of class building and multi-classing and all that I wasn't really expecting. You didn't allude that there was going to be multi-classing involved, and then we got to the point where that we had multi-classing. I'm like, oh, oh no, this is going to be bad because now I've got to figure out what I want to do here. I do enjoy that it's a looter. It teaches me a lot about myself as a D&D player, as a Baldur's Gate player, and a looter. I have a lot of looting, and playing Baldur's Gate, same thing happens. I loot literally everything, and I spend hours in the traders selling stuff and trying to get better stuff. And so I have a shopping problem, and I have that same problem here in this game as well.
Well, that's the beauty of this game. Like once you upgrade your bag and everything,
You're good.
bless
Go
you.
ahead. No.
Once you upgrade your bag and everything, you have a ton of room. It's like 60, I think, or 63 or something like that later on. And there's I don't know the number, so don't quote me, but it's like 18 billion or quadrillion possible chances or pieces of loot you could get. So you chasing that one roll, and then you get the perfect of that one roll is one in so many chances that it's exciting when you get the roll you want. Um, so Squid and I beat this game, so we were max level. What level did you get to, Chase?
Oh, you had to ask me. I think it was 17, 16, something like that. I know
Okay.
we were I know you and I were right around that because we started playing the second characters in the duo for a little bit and then added Squid to it after the fact. And I'm pretty sure you were about 15 at that point, or 14, Squid, when we got done, and I think we were around 18 or 19. Maybe.
Yeah, I think I was like 13 or something because I had a character. I had the character I made with you guys, and then you guys did a different one, got farther, and I was like, "Nah, it's fine. Like I'll just catch up."
Yeah. Your first class, Chase. Do you remember what that one was?
Spore Warden.
Spore Warden.
That was the one that we did. That was the first playthrough as the
Yeah.
trio. Yeah.
And then with the duo, you did Spell Shot.
Yes.
Cool. And then I know you multi-classed with your Spell Shot, but do you remember what you took?
It wasn't Clawbreaker. It was the other one that did crit hit.
Stabomancer.
Stabomancer. Yeah.
That's the one I forgot to do.
You're welcome.
Thanks, man. That's why I was asking about classes just now, hoping to get the one.
He cheated. That's what it was. So basically,
big brain.
This was the one that you told. So once we got to the second, the dual classing, you didn't tell me what you did because you told me that spell shot was your main class that you did, and then I was looking through them and I was like, huh, crit hit chance. That seems really good for the spell shot, seeing as how that's what I'm trying to build. And you were like, thank God you said it because I wasn't gonna tell you it, but you picked the one. That's my exact build.
It's so fun. Like I think the first 20 to 25 levels are whatever. Like they're fun. They'll teach you the game, learn the basics. 20 to 25 on, it gets exciting. Loot gets exciting. Legendaries feel really, really cool and crazy. And then around 30, 35, you're like, oh shit, I'm like building. Once you beat the game, you can then re-roll your secondary class to whatever you want, whenever you want. It just costs money. So Spell Shot, you can do Stabo, you can do Spore Ward, and you can try all of these. So in theory, there's 7 classes, 6 core game, 1 DLC. Beat the game with 7 characters, and you have every single possible combo you want to do. So, because your first class is your main tree that you're going to go down, and then your secondary is going to be whatever. But since we're talking a lot about classes, let's go over some of those. I did the website order except Stabomancer because I, for some reason, forgot it existed and just didn't click on it.
Makes no sense.
It's because Stabomancer can just kind of be exiled.
You got
You
you
got
got
beef
beef
with
with
Stabbo?
Stabby?
I do. The stabby part's good. It's the Mancer part. Do you remember our first playthrough, Panda? And your stupid skull that wouldn't shut the hell up?
You wanna take that back when you realize that's Graveborn?
Okay. Graveborn is the only problem. It's the only class that I have issues with. I was thinking Mancer. I couldn't remember which it was, and I was like, Mancer, Necromancy. It's the skull one. Yeah, no, that's Graveborn.
That is Graveborn.
I take it back. Stabomancer's fine.
The Graveborn should be exiled, is what you're saying.
I do want to play Graveborn past where I did because I got sick of it. So I'll start with Graveborn. My personal least favorite, also one I've done the least. I want to say I've only gotten him to maybe 20. Um, you get this Demi Lich companion that's fucking annoying. It's the skull that flies around and it just quotes and just doesn't shut up, which is fun, but everybody in your party hears it. So when you have your skull constantly yelling at you, and then your two party members saying "shut the fuck up" constantly, it's real annoying. But later on, he does summon hellish minions. It says so. I do want to be a necromancer. Graveborn is all about to life leech and activate abilities, and like when you activate abilities, you get dark magic. Your shield goes down, your health goes up, stuff like that. So it's high risk, high reward. Um, I just haven't been able to bring myself to do it max level. I would almost rather everybody that wants to play Graveborn to level 40, we just all do it at once because that's going to be fun because it's literally going to be constant and none of us are going to want to hear any of that again.
Graveborn sounds like necromancy bard. That's basically what it sounds like because the lich is basically the bards do using
Yeah.
vicious mockery.
Yeah, honestly, like it's a cool class. That was my very first one I did because I love necromancy in these type of games like Diablo, Path of Exile, anything you give me the chance to raise a bunch of minions and then do like explosions of the dead, stuff like that. I'm in. Life Leech, I love. Like I think it's super cool. But man, that thing was annoying.
I just remember him being so loud. It was part of the problem too, because he's funny. It's good voice acting. Like he's an enjoyable companion. He just after like 20 hours, he's so grating. And I would say the same thing for the mushroom companion for Mush Mush. Um, but he's not saying entire lines. He's just making sounds, so it's not as distracting.
Since Spore Warden was your favorite squid, do you want to talk about Spore Warden?
Dots. Just so many dots. I love to go companions and I love to go damage over time. So I went Spore Warden for my first build. And then I dual class that with Clawbringer so I could have more buddies. Um I think I think Mushroom Companion might be the best companion. Um he's got some jokes that get old. His attack is a fart cloud. It's funny, but it's a little juvenile. But he can revive you, which is just really OP. So, uh do that and then stack damage for elements. He's really good.
So I'm doing a single player one that I started 2 weeks ago when we started this. I went Spore Warden because I hadn't played one yet. My notes are mid action skills, meaning like your special abilities. You get 3 tornadoes or a multi-shot bow, and they're both just kind of trash, honestly. But the big passive is you get the Mushroom Companion, and then the passive for that class is any increases to Fate Makers, the player. Damage also applies to their companions, which Clawbringer that has a Wyvern also has that passive and they stack. So that's like
That's
in my
funny.
opinion. Yeah. And they're both very like the Clawbringer is fire and lightning with the Wyvern, and then all elementals increased, and then your Spore Warden has the poison out the ass, literally, because he farts, and you don't. You're like, oh, he's fighting, and then you just hear like you hear the mushroom let it rip, and then you just look over and you're like, oh, and you see the dots just start stacking.
Clawbringer also has the cool thing where it turns some of your shots into fire, even if your gun doesn't. So it's just anything you can stack element wise for those two classes becomes really strong end game.
Yeah, I got my solo to like 25, 26. The Mushroom Companion can res you, which is busted, while the Wyvern is doing damage and distracting everyone. He heals really fast. Like I think I really like those two for solo. Um, I remember just kind of being broken when you did that squid like end game with all three of us playing and everything. Like, um, you have a Spore Warden too, right, Chase?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Dumb question. Did you guys try to make your companions look cute?
No.
Okay. All of their colors and patterns and everything are based on yours. So it gets really weird to get your companions to look in a way that they will stand out so you can tell where they are and such.
It's fair. I think I just do stupid names. I don't really do like matching stuff necessarily. Like I did the character name Mushy and then I changed my name to and then Mushy was just Mushy. And then I got a Wyvern and I just put and Wyvern. So it's Mushy and Wyvern. It's great. Stabomancer. I just took the notes and said stab. He is all about like crit based damage. He can go invisible. While he's invisible, he can move faster and he has guaranteed crits. So as a spell shot, I stacked Stabomancer when invisible with guns that auto lock on and you don't need to aim. And I just went super fast. And the faster you are, the more damage you do, and it's guaranteed crits. So it was pretty busted. I don't fully remember everything he does. I think he does another ability, but he's just all about crits basically. So you can synergize that with some of the elemental classes like Spore Warden and everything, and those do elemental stuff does crit, which is cool. There's Spell Shot, I guess, which is my personal favorite. Um, the two active abilities or special abilities, whatever, you get Polymorph, which is really
Oh
fun
man.
for the first like 6 levels until you get the second one.
Yeah.
Just turning everything into sheeps, it's super fun. Um,
You mean
if you have a
skeeps?
badass, huh?
You mean skeeps?
Skeeps. Oops, sorry. If you like are fighting a badass and you just want them occupied for a sec, because you can kill all the rest of the ads. You can just turn them into a skeep, and they'll fly around and do like a magical walking on air, and then you can kill them once you're ready. They still do take quite a bit of hits though.
Yeah.
Like I think it's 0 defense on those. Like they're not super effective against anything, but they don't take extra damage, so it's kind of like a trade off. I saw on Reddit because I was looking at if that build was viable. There is a combo where it's super viable, and they were doing it to bosses and doing huge damage. Because on full bosses, it doesn't turn them into a skeep; it just does a chunk of damage. So they were stacking a bunch of shit for like cooldowns, and they were just spamming that basically.
That makes sense.
But the cool part of spell shot, in my opinion, is the 2 spells you get, so you can
Mhm.
synergize that.
And we did.
Yes, yes, we did.
Oh man, we were running. So I was running the spell shot. You were running a berserker.
Berserker,
Um,
yeah.
and we basically used a sigil that basically had a black hole in the middle, and it would just suck all of the enemies into the middle. And then here comes Panda with his big old swinging hammer, just hammering the crap out of them.
It's great. The Berserker is ice everything. The two abilities are spin to win. You just spin with your axe out or your melee out, and it freezes everything it hits. The closer you are to enemies, the more damage you do. And the closer enemies are to frozen, the more damage you do. And the other ability is you leap into an area and you do like an ice crash landing. So when you were doing the like black hole grenade with the ice sigil, I would go in. Synergy was great, and that was like level 15.
Yeah, we were pretty broken early on in the playthrough. Like it, yeah.
There's a spell you can get later on called the Buffmeister. It buffs every stat you have. It is insane. Like you feel like you just drank, I don't know, crazy amount of speed and you're just going fast. But that, depending on how it drops, it has code words and it has 3 extra buffs. So you can get like zap, which does extra electrocution damage. You can do poison, which obviously does extra poison damage and stuff like that. So Buffmeister with spell shot, and you have another spell. That's the play. It's
Seems
super
good.
fun. And the last class they added is called Blight Caller. It was one of the DLC classes. I don't remember which DLC you need to own. Not all of them, but one of them. Um, Squid and I tried the DLC when it came out, the first one, expecting more than at the time we thought we were expecting more than a shitty endgame. That being said, once we played more of it, it's not that. And I do want to go back and try it again with our main characters to try all of them because we didn't give them a fair shot.
I honestly couldn't tell you what the first DLC was content-wise. I remember what it is theming-wise. I have absolutely no idea what we did in that DLC.
It was just farming for drops, basically. It was like more dungeon type things, from what I remember. And then you could trade in the items you get for the wheel and spin the wheel. And then with that currency, you could do other stuff. But I don't remember details on it.
I think that's kind of telling. But I remember the location for it, so
True. Yeah, the last DLC was called Blight Caller. They were a huge elemental focus on poison specifically. So I went to do a Spore Warden Blight Caller or Blight Caller Spore Warden. I am worried that's too similar typing because it's just poison on poison. Some things don't care about poison; it doesn't really hurt them. So you got a huge disadvantage there. But they have a huge like hurricane type cloud that just drips poison, which looks really cool. And then they have a bog totem, I believe it's called, that you just plant it and it just summons skulls and just like shoots them out at enemies, homes in and seeks them. But you also can just get a perk during your skill tree that has that on your weapon. Like on a crit, it has like a 20% chance to send a skull out at the enemy you're shooting. So I don't know why you'd want to do the bog totem active.
I think it's kind of like the why would you want to do the skeep the entire way through kind of thing. Like some of the starting like ultimates just aren't as good as the other ones you get later.
I almost feel like every character has one meant for them if you're starting, and one meant to just ignore slash multi-class with. Because like if you're spell shot, you're gonna do the 2 spells. But if you have synergy already with somebody else as like Berserker, I wonder if you could freeze the sheep and make it last longer. I don't know. Sorry, the skeep.
Skeep.
No skeep.
But yeah, that's the classes. Anything specific you guys want to play on those? Like any builds you want to see or anything sound fun to you?
The one
Because
that I'm
the
I'm
one you're
doing.
doing, I enjoy that, but I'm really enjoying my solo, the spore
Clobberger.
wyvern, clobber, yeah. And then at some point, I think we should all do Graveborn and or get a fourth and all do Graveborn because it's just gonna be chaos. And the cool thing is we could all do Graveborn, and then we're all gonna pick different
Yeah,
subclasses,
it's
and
true.
it'll be a completely different game for all of us still.
That'd be pretty cool. I won't do Graveborn unless we're all doing Graveborn. Won't do Cancer unless it's all Cancer.
Well, good news for you. They have life leech, so if you do get it, you'll be okay.
Tell me why I thought you were gonna be like, good news for you, mesothelioma, and just start going into the commercial.
What?
Watch too much late night TV, I guess. It's like burned into my brain.
You broke us with that, just so you're aware.
Oh, Panda just broke himself. Look at
Oh,
chat.
no. Oh yeah, yeah.
I saw an opportunity and I took it.
Yeah, no, you were baiting. I saw it.
So story, I guess. Level design is kind of each world is completely different theming with mostly different enemies. Um, I know you haven't done a ton of worlds because we've kind of been 100%ing everything as we go, Chase.
Yeah.
Do you remember how far we got? So we don't talk about the worlds later on.
The last thing we did is we blew up the ocean, and we were doing some of the stuff in the overworld down in the ocean.
So you haven't messed around with multi-classing much then. You kind of just got it, right?
Just kind of got it, and we've done a few encounters and stuff with me being multi-classed.
Okay. This is definitely something I want to go back to then, and
Yep.
we should beat this game because it's.
I agree. This should
Yeah.
definitely be one of the games we look at in our reviews later on in the year.
Yes. And I've never cared about soloing Borderlands 3. That doesn't sound fun to me. I'm loving this solo because I have all the companions. Like it's a lot of fun.
It's like you're playing with friends.
Yeah.
Basically.
My friends don't talk to me. So it's like
It's better.
playing with friends.
Okay.
You could play Graveborn. He talks to you.
Yeah, but he's like the type of person that like if I'm on Discord where they'll just turn down and then forget I turned him down.
I was almost gonna say a name, and yeah.
Names aren't necessary. Just Graveborns.
I might be misremembering his voice, but is he like a mildly more nasally Skeletor? Right? Like that's what he is.
Remember.
Till we meet again. Yeah, basically. That's what I'm remembering at least. Maybe I'm wrong, but
You
like
said it wrong. You said it wrong.
I'll weigh in on this one. Chase's impression is really good for Skeletor for some reason.
it is.
I'll remember that when I'm doing D&D sessions and need to have different voices.
No, just be Skeletor.
Just be Skeletor. Maybe. Fighter? What do we call him? Fighter?
Comment below what is Skeletor.
In D&D. We're quickly changing our words, our comment word from the one we had before to Skeletor.
Look, you just gotta leave multiple, not in the same comment, please. Different comments, different accounts.
Oh my god.
So you blow up the ocean. Like
Yeah,
what the fuck?
that was great. I laughed so hard when we did it too.
I was so happy we got there. Because I know the first time Squid and I lost our shit. Because we're like, wait, what? What do you mean blow up the ocean? And then you
I
discover
laughed.
half the game is in the ocean.
I laughed when it happened. I was you guys. We were sitting there, and I just went. I started losing my shit.
It's great.
I'm just nodding and laughing. This is an audio podcast, but check out the video. I'm nodding and laughing.
Or check out the stream
I just thought
every other Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
you were gonna say something, Squid. That was all.
You can no longer find squids in the ocean at.
Did we do the Jack Beanstalk level? I think you just flicked the bean to create the level, correct?
Yeah, I flicked the bean. Yeah.
So in the overworld, there's a bean that you can find, and you're like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Help me!" And then he just like he says super sus things, and it's just like,
Yep.
"Wait, what?" And then you find like a village in the overworld, and he's like, "Plant me here. This is the perfect place for my seed." It's just like, what is going on? And then the objective is flick the bean, and then your character flicks the bean onto this city, and it now gets overrun by this giant beanstalk, and now there's evil plants in the city. So that's that's one of my favorite levels. It's just ridiculous. All the side quests are ridiculous. A really cool legendary has a chance to drop in there as well. Um,
Interesting.
what's your level, Squid?
What's my favorite level?
Before, like where we are, I guess, ocean forward.
Ocean back or ocean forward?
Well, ocean and what happened previous.
Ocean back.
Or if you're looking at endgame, ocean forward.
I understand, but no one would say it that way. Ocean previous. The prequel to the Ocean's 11 franchise.
Yep.
Okay, Grandma, let's get you to bed.
I've never seen the Ocean's 11 franchise, just so everyone knows, please don't message me about it. I know nothing. We, I think I have to go with Weep Wild Dankness because I really like that you go in and it's just a normal forest and they're just like, oh, this doesn't look that dank. And she's like, fine, we'll make it more dank. And just, I like a lot of the fact that this game, like, it changes your perception of the world you're in just as the players play. Um, blow up the ocean. Well, now there's a whole new area. Save an evil being, and now there's a whole new area, which we didn't do for a long time. Actually, on our original playthrough, we'd gotten quite a ways in before we did that side quest and found a whole nother area that we didn't know about, which was pretty crazy at the time.
Question. So, do the levels like level with you? So, like, if you did that later on, does it level up with you, or is it like super easy enemies that you went into late game?
It levels up with you.
Okay.
So the way the game leveling works is everything scales to you until you're 40. And then to get better loot, kind of like Division, you have to upgrade the world
Upgrade.
tier.
Yeah.
There is now 100 chaos levels, which is 25, I think, Squid and I left out on. That's kind of scary now for us. But what's cool is there's different secret rarities, basically. So, like, legendary is the best thing, but you can get two variants of legendary. You can get volatile, which has base stats up to like 20% better. And then there's one more, I think, that base stats are like 50% better. Um,
Super
so
duper rare.
yeah, I think I think we were Chaos 25 because that gave us like a 1% chance at the higher rarity stuff. So you're supposed to sit there and farm until you get a piece or two so you can go up. So like it's very repetitive, but it's also very, very grindy fun, I think, because like you and I like Division so
Yep.
much, that 2%, that 3%, and when you're able to do the next level up, it's satisfying. And then you're like, okay, I'm here now. Time to keep grinding.
I mean, we got farther in the descent, not geared like we thought we were needed to be in that one
Yeah.
that we did, and we were just like kind of surprised with ourselves. So I feel like
Yeah.
that type of grind late game in this would be kind of good too.
And that has a vending machine and like all the currencies that you can spend right outside of it. So like Squid and I would get on and play for like 3 or 4 hours, and we would just do chaos runs the entire time while we're watching something because it's super just chill, hangout, social game.
Yeah.
Squid doesn't do endgame on like anything. And thoughts, Squid, on chaos runs?
We didn't go back and end up playing them this time, but they were honestly the main thing I wanted to do this time. I really like the chaos runs. There's Call of Zoo wow, words. Call of Duty-esque secret things you can do through it. You know, Call of Duty Zombies, how they have like the special things you can trigger.
Easter eggs. She's looking for Easter eggs.
Yes.
That is what you do with Easter eggs. You have to look for them. Um uh anyways, they're I really liked that part of it. We didn't get to do a ton of those because we were just doing runs through to get through to the higher bosses. Um and I want to do those more. I want to see what happens if you get all of those done. But with them being kind of the dungeons, they change as you go through, and there's kind of a like almost like a role mechanic as you go through as well for how it's going to progress. And it's just one of those you can go into really easily. If you fail out, cool, you still got some loot, go back in again. And it's just really easy to keep going and grinding and lose like 5 hours at a time.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons I want you to beat the game. Building during the story is super fun. And then once you get a build you like, you can just keep going and going and going, and you're just constantly upgrading stuff. If Division keeps us for that 2% roll, this is going to keep us for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil too much of the story, but it's pretty good. I liked it a lot actually.
Tiny Tina, I don't think I've said it yet. Tiny Tina is the DM for the game, and in Pandora, where Borderlands takes place, your people in that world playing D&D, the player in Wonderlands is the character that the people in Pandora are playing as. So you constantly hear Tiny Tina narrating your game, and at one point she drops a Cheeto, puffs specifically on the battlefield, like on the overworld, and she's like, "Oh, a mysterious wall appears," and the character's just like, you dropped that. You really gonna go with this?" And she's like, "A mysterious dungeon opens for the key." And she's like, you dropped it. Just pick it up." "No, it's a dungeon." And stuff like that. Like Borderlands never takes itself super serious, and this is just a kid in Borderlands leading the game, hence blowing up the ocean.
I think this game encapsulates the the feeling of playing D&D with your friends more than most games, not in the same way that Baldur's Gate does. So Baldur's Gate clearly does it better to the actual game of D&D. But Tina might be the best written DM I've ever seen of just like, nah, that's what we're going with. That's what's happening now. Like the world's changing and everything, like, oh, it doesn't seem very, it's like, fine, okay, no, but it is. Look what happened now. And it's all scripted, but it feels so organic and fun for just people playing and the characters around the table giving the DM a hard time.
I think this is a game if you like Borderlands or looters in general. play with people that are new and or willing to not hold your hand and just like guide you through. Find people that'll let you be the lead and explore, and they'll just answer questions if you have them, because the game kind of self guides you. Like it's not
It's pretty linear.
complicated. Yeah, and there's side things like Squid said, the bean level. We didn't know for probably 40 hours on our first playthrough. Then we're like, oh shit, what's this? Because we weren't really doing overworld stuff. We didn't know about the shrines or any of the important stuff, I think, until way later. Um, and then if you like D&D, also play it because it's the friendly, non-rule heavy. Yeah, have fun. Like the guidebook is there, but house rules are what's fun, you know.
You can get magic missile.
Yeah.
That's the tweet. You can get magic missile.
If you made
You
it to
can
this
also
point
get
in the episode.
you can also get a fish to slap people with, which was my favorite weapon. Do you guys have favorite weapons?
Yes, but talk about your fish.
So I got it on my Spore Warden playthrough, that first one we were doing. And when it dropped, I don't think it actually dropped for me. It dropped for Panda. But it does poison. And so you just have this giant fish that's like the entire size of your back. It's just a dead fish that's rotting that you just slap people with. So every time we got a new drop of that weapon, if it was better, that's what I upgraded to.
Oh man.
And with Spore Warden, like we talked about earlier, with the synergy with poison and everything, elemental stuff stacks, and
God.
it's good. The legendaries in this game are, I think, one of the best parts. There's so many different ones. Like I don't want to spoil all of them, but there's a flaming marshmallow that bounces around the battlefield. That's a spell. There's the poison fish that you could just slap people with. There's a frying pan that's a PUBG reference.
Mm,
Like
throwback.
there's so many. There's probably 40, 50 exotics that I'm like, "Oh, I love this." And that's what you want from a looter. You want exciting end game loot. Even if you're not going to use it. I have it in my vault because I'm going to use it eventually. I want to, you know. Anything else I'm missing on Wonderlands? Anything you can think of, Squid, Chase?
I was trying to think how I'm gonna say this without it just seeming completely off the rails again. Um, when we loaded in this time, because there was three of us doing the like intro scene at once, our character, like my view loaded slightly differently than normal. Like I was farther to the right than normal. Um, that robot, uh, thicker than I thought. Just
Okay.
I wanted to bring it up at the time. But there's two other NPCs around the table with you besides Tina. And because of how they did their character sheets, they do not get to have a fate maker. So they just kind of guide you.
Advise.
Yeah, they're your advisors. They were fun. They were fun characters too.
They are your conscience.
Squid really just said, "Oh yeah, I remember thick robots."
I
Thick
just remember she was very
roots.
round.
Anything else, Chase?
I remember when we first got to Brighthoof getting killed, and I was like, "No!" Like all dramatic and everything. Yeah, I,
Yeah,
I, I very much did not take this game seriously, but I had a blast at the same time.
it's it's only like first playthrough, probably 40 hours max.
Except for us, because I'm a looter, and it's gonna take like probably 60 hours to get through because of
You'll go
that.
faster. You were already going faster. The first like night or two, Squid and I were like, he doesn't know Borderlands. All of this is garbage. Just because Division,
Yeah,
like every piece of loot can matter, even
yeah.
if it's something you don't use literally at all. You can pull off a stat, and
Yep.
then you have it in your library, and then you can
Yep.
put that stat on the weapon you want. Like, this
Yep.
is just there's so much loot they just throw at you. Which, if you're fans of looters and you want to be swimming in loot or drowning in loot,
Drowning
you're
in
gonna love
money.
this. Yeah, that's another thing too. Money going up constantly, and then the money you spend it constantly, and it's always rewarding to spend, and it's always rewarding to get. Like, it feels good. Loot Goblin for sure.
Yep. I really am.
It's fantastic.
And the other part, like the cosmetics that you guys have all had access to, like the two of you have had access to all of them. You just literally we'll go and all of a sudden it's just like 7 or 8 8 gold pieces pop out for cosmetics. And it's like, here, do you need any of these? And it's like, I need that one. I don't need that one. I don't need that one. Okay, the rest of them you can take back and do whatever you want with them. And you guys will pick them up, or you just leave them for me, and then I snatch them up and sell them because money.
That's what I like too. You can a lot of looters don't let you drop gear. Destiny, zero trading whatsoever. You got that.
Division limited trading.
I think Division has a sweet spot for trading,
I do
personally.
too. I do.
Because so Destiny, I have a god roll of the gun chase once, for instance, we'll say. Well, that sucks. I'm gonna throw it in my vault and never use it because I don't like it. And Chase is sitting there like, man, I'm gonna spend another 30 hours trying to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Division, and you get the god roll weapon that Chase wants. If he's in your party, anybody in your party, when the item drops, you can share with for up to 1 hour in game time. So if you wait a week and then get back on in the same party, or with the one other person that wants it, you can just share it.
Yep.
And that's it. It can't
I
be reshared.
I do think that is the sweet spot, though. It can still be shared unless it gets modded. Once it's
Oh,
modded in
really?
Division, yes. So I could drop
Oh,
it
okay.
again. But if it's something that I'm looking forward to and I've wanted for a long time, then why would I drop it back to you? I would mod that son of a bitch up immediately, and it's never getting shared
Yeah.
again. But yeah, no. I think Division does have the sweet spot. That's why when we play Division, we typically will pick up our exotic caches that we can get weekly when we're all in a party. So,
hmm
um,
We'll wait and then be like, all right, let's do speed runs. Let's do the projects. All right, cool. Everybody open your exotics. Nothing good this week. All right.
yeah,
And you only have to play for,
a couple hours.
because since we played so much, realistically, 2 hours a week max for us. And then it's like, all right, cool. Let's play next week. It's a good, just go hang out game.
Yeah,
Like Wonderland's chaos levels. You got to get there eventually.
yeah. No,
You're going to like it.
we'll definitely continue playing.
Cool. Well, I think that's basically all I had for Wonderlands. If you guys don't have anything else, we can get our guest in here, introduce him, and see if he's played Wonderlands actually, because I don't know. If not, I think he would like it.
Are we gonna rate? Are we gonna rate first, or are we gonna get him in?
Oh, we can rate first if you want.
Doesn't matter either way.
Yeah, let's rate first. That way we can just do intros on the wheel. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Okay.
Squid, go.
So quick. Um, this is the first game in a while that I think we've been able to have this much conversation about and joking around about. Because I think we all really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not gonna speak for you guys. I really enjoyed it. Um, it's been a long time since we played it. I will say playing through the beginning again was a little slow this time. But I'm just so hyped to get to the chaos levels and get to all the next parts. Um, this game kind of falls in like a sweet spot for me, where you can easily play it with friends or you can hop on and play it on your own. And it's good story, funny story, but also fun gameplay. So I'm gonna rate it pretty high. I want to give Tiny Tina's Wonderlands a 9. I really like this game.
A 9. Dang. How many hours do you have in the game, real quick, Squid? Because you have quite a few for a looter.
Let me see.
Put you on the spot, my bad.
You did. It's okay. I can look it up. That's fine.
I'll go next. No, go ahead.
I was saying, yeah, go while I look it up.
Look it up. I'll go.
Oh, oh.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
I have, I think, 190 something hours in this game. We got it at launch. We hadn't played it in about a year and a half, probably. But man, it is my main like one right now. Like I just want to play this game. Um, like I didn't think this was a type of game to be in my main rotation. Like the Minecraft spurts, the Power World spurts. That's just like I want to play this game again. That's Wonderlands for me. Every few months, I guess, every year, like I want to go back and play again until I do all the classes. Um, the legendaries are fantastic. The D&D aspect is fantastic. I don't remember really having any bugs. Um, and no, Squid, was there a bug?
To this day, I don't know. Because those weapons that say they heat up and break seemed to be broken in the beginning. And then we decided they weren't broken. And then they came out and they were like, yeah, there actually was a bug with those. But now they still act exactly the same. And I do not know how those work. So I do not know if it's a bug. But I remember that really bugging us in the beginning.
That's fair. Um, I think it's just besides not knowing how the game works. Because I'm in the same boat with her. I'm not knocking her. I don't know. I don't remember any bugs. Everything kind of works. It doesn't take itself serious. Um, I'm debating between two ratings, but I think I'm just gonna fucking send it. I'm gonna give us a 10 for me.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's the gunplay feels fantastic. I was using controller for the first time in like 5 years because I was too lazy to use my mouse. And I was like, oh, this game feels great on controller, and I hate using controller for these kind of games. Um, Keyboard and mouse feels great. Controller feels great. The loot's fun. Building's fun. End game's fun. DLC isn't the best, but I do want to go back and give it a fair shot, even without the DLC. I think Blight Caller alone is a really fun class. Um, yeah, I want to go back and play this a lot more, and that's with having 200 hours in the game. I said it again. These are our individual ratings. We haven't touched it in a few weeks, but individual ratings, not what we think the game is for everyone. It's this is a 10 for me. Chase, go.
Huh. You guys have a lot more hours in this game than I do.
Yeah.
And previous experience with Borderlands has not been good. This one we did have I did have a lot more fun with, especially just the silliness of like blowing up the ocean and the dank and the Cheeto puff in the middle of the overworld and all that. The gunplay was pretty good. I don't know. I don't really remember how much about two, but I feel like it's better than two gunplay.
2 is very rough for the first bit, and then once you put badass points in like accuracy and stability and all that, it feels better. But 2 at the start is not it.
Makes sense. That would be why it feels a lot better. And just like the synergy that we had was like really cool because it was like we didn't even mean for it to be synergy. I don't think it just kind of just naturally happened, and all of a sudden it just really worked well, and we felt overpowered early on. Um, I'm gonna rate this lower than you guys, but higher than you guys think. I'm gonna rate this a 7.5.
7.5 in 30 hours, I'm guessing, maybe less. Like that's not bad.
Yeah.
Got to get you to them chaos levels. I'm super excited to grind those with you guys. 123 hours and 2 minutes. Almost had 1, 2, 3, 4.
Less hours than you think, actually. 15.
Oh wow. Are you hooked though, or are you just
I don't
kind
know if
of
I'm hooked, but
okay?
I'm at a point where I would not mind playing this outside of podcast time.
Yeah.
Like this is a game that, if we're playing on a Wednesday and it's like, let's play some Tiny Tinas before we, start streaming our game of the week. I'd be okay with that.
We could even just play this on stream if the game of the week is like single player stuff and we all want to play together.
Yeah.
Or if it's a quick game, or if it's a game that's like a multiplayer like sports game or something. We could play this before or after, like you said, still on stream.
Yeah.
There's so much to do. I didn't even talk about the collectibles. Like there's a bunch of collectibles. There's shrine pieces that get permanent buffs. There's dice that get permanent buffs. There's end game stuff as well that just overall buffs everything. What is the final consensus though?
Consensus rating for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is an 8.83 repeating. The 3 is repeating, not 8.3. That puts it at 4th this year. And I will quickly peek back at last year as well.
It should be top 5 ever, I'm guessing.
Yeah. It is
'Cause-
4th all time, actually.
Yeah.
The only other one that was close was the Gunk. That was the only reason that I had to check, because I knew the Gunk was was our highest last year. But yeah, that puts it at 4th overall. Pal World 1st place, Baldur's Gate 2nd, Hogwarts Legacy 3rd, and now Tiny Tina's 4th.
Those are all
Like really
huge
good games.
games.
Yeah.
I remember when this came out, we wanted you to play Chase, but you weren't into Borderlands games at that point, and the D&D didn't have as much of a draw on you. So I'm
Right.
really excited that we got to play it, and it was finally like a good time for
The
it.
funny thing is I know Meet It, so it's fitting.
A newfound love of D&D is exciting.
Yeah.
It just shows how like D&D's been around for 40 years probably now, or close to it, and there's still new people like discovering it for the first time and love it. Like it's gonna live forever. It's great. Guest, we get our guest in.
Guest
Time, bitch.
Yes.
Guest time, bitch.
So this week we are going to have a guest. Z, he is there. He's gonna pick a game, gonna put on the wheel. There's not gonna be a Game Pass game this week. We're gonna have a Zach Pass game this week, or like it'll be on the wheel. We'll see what happens. But hello, Zach.
Hello.
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 Good old refresh fixes it every time.
Hell yeah.
Turn it back off and back on again,
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
But yes, it is I doing Zach things.
So this is Zach. He's been in our friend group forever. Plays a lot of looters.
A lot of Rocket League.
A lot of Rocket League. Yeah.
Too much Rocket League.
And introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, I'm Zach, fellow gamer nerd. And yeah, I play games.
Good enough.
That's it. That's all, folks.
Yep. That's my personality, games.
Games is your personality. Okay.
But not good ones like Rocket League.
No.
He
The
plays
worse the
Katana,
better. True.
Which again, worse the better.
If you want to refer back to episode a long time ago with City Skylines, this is the guy.
This is the City
Yeah.
Skylines guy. Yeah.
Honestly, sandbox games like that are really my jam. City Skylines, Factorio, Satisfactory. Like those games are really my jam.
I'm trying to live balance his audio, by the way. Because there was a complaint in chat that he was loud.
Yeah, who cares about their ears?
That's fair.
He's showing up the same on my mixer at least.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Um,
I already put the games on the wheel. Zach, go ahead and tell everybody what you're bringing to the wheel, and then I'll bring the wheel. Oh crap, bringing the wheel up. That's going to be interesting. Okay.
The wheel's already made.
The wheel's already made. Yeah.
All right, bet.
Zach, if
Still.
you really want to, just throw a wrench at him.
Yeah. Are you? Oh, are you changing?
I might be changing it.
Okay. What are you changing it to? It's fine. I can still change it.
Hell yeah. So there's a game my friend introduced me to called V Rising, which is, I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's a early access vampire game.
Okay.
Where the whole shtick is the vampires lost the war against humans, but now you're making a comeback. So you're building your castle, legit building your castle, and exploring the map.
Okay.
So is this like Minecraft meets Diablo?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Where it's like there's elements of boss fights and encounters, as well as, crafting and building and going out and fetching materials and stuff.
Okay.
We did say you were the building things guy.
Zach would have been good in what was that physics-based game that we played? Besiege.
No, we all would have looked so much worse than we already did. My face
my.
presence online is looking like an idiot in the game.
That's the point. Zach would have built some extravagant thing, and we would have been like, "God damn it, Zach!"
So what I'm hearing is there needs to be a part 2.
No.
Do you play Besiege? Have you built really cool shit?
I have no idea what that game is.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
that's good. It's basically you build siege engines, and it's very physics-based. So I figured you'd be good at it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll check that out then. Besiege?
Downloading as we speak.
Yeah. It's already bought.
Clickety clackety, here comes the game. All right. Here we go. We need this, and where'd it go? Right there. Here's the wheel of what.
So what did everybody else put on?
So V Rising is the game that Zach has brought to the table. I
Yep.
put on Turbo Golf Racing. Am I just saying them all? Okay. Panda put on Dungeon Golf. And Squid brought Totally Reliable Delivery Service, right? That's how it's.
Yeah. Panda's been having trouble with his mic, by the way.
Oh,
No.
okay.
So
It's
So-
not just me.
I hit my unmute on my mixer, but for some reason the thing didn't switch back up automatically because it's a electronic mixer. So I muted to 0 volume and unmuted back to 0 volume. I was trying, I swear.
I'm
I
sitting
put
here
on
like
Dungeon Golf.
I was like, I'm sitting here. No answer. Okay, cool. I'm gonna say them all, I guess.
I'm sorry.
I'm just looking
right.
over and he's like pressing the thing that's like trying to get it.
All right. So since Zach is the guest, I already picked a random number for the amount of seconds that it is. I'm not going to say how many it is, but Zach, you will tell me when to spin the wheel.
Go.
Oh my God, Panda!
Oh, we golfing.
We golfing in the dungeons.
Zach,
Panda
you're here for
finally
a
wins a roll, and he's
Yeah,
hosting
you're
this
here
week.
for a historic moment.
It's
Ooh.
been 5 months.
See, I'm just your good luck charm.
I didn't get a game until I turned a year older almost.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, dude.
So we'll be playing Dungeon Golf for the next episode number 29.
Panda, do you want to tell us a little bit about Dungeon Golf?
Yes.
So it's a multiplayer golf game. 4 of us can play together. Each golfer has a team behind them, basically, and like people root for the team, the sponsored golfer, and they have abilities, basically. There's monsters on the field. You can kill the monsters while you're golfing. and you can mess with your friends or set them in traps or let the monster attack your friends. It's strategic golf, basically. It's a lot of fun. I did the Next Fest demo with I think Squid and Chaotic, like last year or 2 years ago, and it was a day one purchase for me. So I am excited for us to play it. We're going to be very frustrated and hate each other for a bit. It's one of those golf games, the good ones,
Oh.
you know.
Oh, beautiful.
Boy.
Just another good old golf with your friends.
But there's other enemies, not just your friends. You still only attack your friends.
Well, you can get negative on holes. So when you destroy an enemy, it's -1 stroke. So it's balancing. Squids beat us before with like a -2 on a hole, and Chaotic and I got like a 6 because we kept getting fucked over by RNG on the enemies.
Jeez.
So you can do a lot with it. It's pretty good. You can. I'm gonna mix it up completely.
Mm.
Zach, where can people find you if they want to follow and watch for the next week or two?
Yeah, you can find me on Violin Panda or Jeez, or Are You Squidding Me?
Or
You can
Or
find all of us at 10HrHour
what
on
he
all
said.
social media platforms, as well as our 10HrHour.podbean.com.
oh, he's throwing it out there this time, not having me do it. Ah.
Squid, where can people find you now that the ocean exploded?
Splattered across screens of players nationwide.
Chase, where can people
laying next to Bright Hoof's dead body?
I have a correction to last week. I said you can find me on all social media that I know about at Are You Squidding Me? That's not true. Don't find me on Tumblr. I don't have one of those, but I know about it. But all of the others, those ones are me.
Chase?
Is there an Are You Squidding Me on Tumblr though? That's the real question.
We
I
can make
haven't
it.
checked. I better register it before this episode goes up.
Probably should, because people are going to be looking at it now. You can find me at Chaser931_ on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, in YouTube, and Kick. Boom.
And you can find me at Violin Panda or at Violin Panda _ on everything. Good luck, have fun, figure it out which is which.
And I don't need
Thanks,
to do
Zach.
and I don't need to do the podcast thing because you already did it at the beginning.
Yeah, you weren't ready for that, were you?
I wasn't, because I'm usually the one that has to do it.
You're welcome. Thanks, Zach, for coming on.
Of
Excited to
course.
play dungeon golf with you for the next 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a blast down in the dungeons.
Why y'all make it all suck?
That's a little sus. Yeah.
What you mean?
Just 3 dudes putting balls in holes in the dungeon.
5 feet apart, though.
Because yep.
We have to count our strokes too. It's a golf game.
True.
Yeah, we do.
I'll count yours if you count mine.
At
Deal.
the same time.
Okay, I am now also Are You Squidding Me on Tumblr?
What about Reddit? You
How
know
the
about
fuck
Reddit
did you
too.
sign up that quick?
You know about Reddit too, don't you?
Chase, stop making me have to sign up for things. Speedrun edition.
Zach's gonna beat you to it.
I'm signing up as
me
we...
on Reddit. That's where you can find Zach.
That's where you can find Zach on
Yeah.
Reddit at Are You Squidding Me.
Are You Squidding Me? I have a MySpace now.
Oh man, a
Who's in your
MySpace
top 5?
4chan.
4chan. Oh man,
Oh, God.
this is definitely making the blooper.
So is that.
And
Yeah.
that's all, folks. Thanks for coming out to episode 28 of 10HrHour
The chaos is real.
Wonderlands Chaos Edition. Oh,
All right. Bye.
okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.